Hey, what's up, Winnie? All right, so I had a question come across yesterday that was about how to identify your passions. They're like, Jen, how did you identify your passion, what you wanted to do? And so I came up with 20 questions to ask yourself. Who else loves like 20 questions? It's such a cool game. So I figured I'd come up with 20 questions that you can actually ask yourself to really discover your passion, because it's really your passion. It's not mine. It's not anybody else's. You have to live yours, right? And so the key here is, it's important to really find your passion so that you can enjoy your greater success and you can develop more resilience and all those kind of things. So before I dive into the 20 questions, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about passion and why I know it's essential, why it's so essential that we find it, and really what a difference it makes in our lives. And so let's dig in. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, follow if you want the holistic approach. Living fit as a lifestyle if you're tired of diet fads and empty promise programs. So, importance of finding your passion. Let's unpack this real quick. Finding your passion in life is just, it's not just something nice to have. It's a very important to our overall happiness. And passion is what drives us. It's what gets us excited in life, and it's what can help us find our purpose, right, as well. So realize that you're unique and you're special is an important thing to knowing yourself. And when you learn what drives you, and you can finally achieve real happiness and experience success in the life. And here are some many benefits to finding your passion. Who doesn't love benefits? All right. 1, you can enjoy greater success. When you genuinely are passionate about something, you are much more likely to be successful in your endeavors and make a real difference in the world. I think we all want to end our lives and be able to look back and say, I lived a worthy life, right? I know for me, I want to look back and know that I made a difference. I did something positive. Passion can be the driving force that helps you overcome obstacles that get in your way of a dream, and it can serve to keep you excited when the hard work is needed to achieve that dream. And when you ask very successful people how they got to where they are, most will say they love what they do. So finding your passion can help you reach higher levels of success in all that you do. And I always say that I'd rather work 4 jobs that I hate, that I'm passionate about, than one, or 4 jobs that I absolutely love, that I'm passionate about, than one I absolutely hate, and sit behind a desk all day. And for me, that's just not my cup of tea. All right. So next, you can develop resilience and determination. And so when you're already passionate about a particular goal, it's much harder to give up and walk away from it, right? Even when things get complicated, passion helps us feel more excited and energetic about what we're doing, and it can motivate us to pick ourselves back up again when we fail or we stumble. And really, passion enables us to work harder and push ourselves, because quitting is not an option when you love what you're doing. And so next, you will feel more positive. Who doesn't want some positivity in their life, especially right now? When you are passionate about what you're doing, I really truly believe that your whole outlook and mindset is affected, and caring about your work makes you feel purposeful and optimistic, and you feel more confident in your choices and abilities. Because I think when we really tap into that passionate desire, I think we'll all find in some way, it's in some regard, either in making something to make people's lives better. Maybe it's creating even a computer program to make things easier. Maybe it's data entry to make someone's lives easier. There's a human factor there that makes some part of someone's lives better, whatever it is. And so those who have passion feel less stressed out because they know they can overcome the obstacles to get to their dream. The more you put yourself into spreading love, the better you feel about yourself and the world in general. And so I think we all know that's true. And it provides us with direction. How many times have we gone through life and felt like we were aimless, like we didn't know where we were going, we didn't know what we were going to do. And so when you're excited about something and are eager to achieve it, you feel purposeful and as though your life has meaning. So you may not care about what other pursuits like financial wealth or obtaining possessions, because you know what you're doing is important. And there's some things that are much, are worth more than money, I believe. Not that money can make your life easier, because it can pay for things, right? It can pay if you need a surgery, something it pays for, right? You don't have to stress about that. But I think there's a higher level to it too, that take care of basic needs, but yet, rather than getting that new purse or that new pair of shoes, isn't much more fulfilling to know you've bettered someone else's life. And so having purpose is vital for everyone who achieves in life, and those who have passion and purpose are more likely to live longer, feel more satisfied, at the end of their lives and have fewer regrets, which I know I already have plenty of regrets. Like, I don't need to add to the list. So it can fuel your personal growth. So finding your passion can help you to explore yourself more, work on improving your weaknesses, and reach your goal. And so to continue to seek out new interests and ideas, pursuit of what's important to you, becoming a lifelong learner, right? That one of our pillars goes hand in hand with finding your life's passion. You will want to do anything you can to pursue what is honoring is important to you. So hopefully now you're convinced that finding your passion is essential for your life. And the sooner you can find yours, the sooner you can change your life and start genuinely living your life, or see if you're making any tweaks or if you're on the right path. This is great for you. So how exactly do you figure out what your passion is then? Let's keep going to learn. So the process of questioning to make the most of your searching. And so this can go into lots of different areas of life. I find that questions are really powerful. Some of the best communicators I've ever known are ones who have come into my life and they've asked me questions. They've really told me, they asked me questions. I'm like, and you have to answer. It has to be your answer. So if you want to explore your innermost self and get to know your deepest secrets and dreams, then you must start by asking a lot of questions. Questioning is a way to explore various aspects of our lives, your personality, your hopes. It gives us an open-ended approach to the heart of what matters most to us. So when we work, let's say like you work with a counselor or coach, or if you come to me and work with me even wherever it is, if you've worked with a mental health professional, they will ask you a lot of questions to get to know you, understand what's driving you, discover what makes you tick. And you can use the same technique on yourself and to even dig deeper, they'll do that, right? So playing the role of both counselor and patient or coach, right, allows the student, you, to become more familiar with who you are and what you want. So this is something we can do by ourselves, which is awesome, I think. Asking the right questions will help you uncover your motivations, your inspirations, what engages and excites you the most, what you're most afraid of, and where you are not being honest in your life. And that's really key. So many times we take what others have dictated for us, right, and we make it as if it's our own, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's what you're doing truly. Maybe you don't want to be that. Maybe you want to be something else, but you felt the pressure of your family to be something, right? And so, having that honest look within ourselves, I think, is so important. And to uncover our goals and priorities, passions, and dreams, I think, is really the key here. And because we spend most of our days getting by, dealing with life as it comes, having time to actually sit down and think about these answers and these questions will be necessary. So maybe take one a day for the next 20 days. You don't have to rush it. Set aside extended period, or do, like I said, a little bit each time, and really get into your heart and your mind. Put aside some responsibility of everyday life if you can, and work through the harder questions that need prying to get to the heart of what matters to you. So if one takes 2 days, it's okay. Maybe you set yourself a time limit. You're going to work on it. Each time we're going to work on this for 10 minutes. And you do that every day until it's done. And then we can give yourself a little more time. So it's really up to you. But if you can, each day, you could do an hour would be ideal. And that way when you get to that deep level, you don't have to break it off, or let's say you just get there and then you have to break it off. An hour is a really good time, but I understand that might be hard for some of us. Do what you can, but an hour would be great. Then you really work through questions and give yourself time to really think and process them. Recording them can be helpful at looking at patterns. We're trying to identify those truths, right? So you can list bullet points if you like, but be sure to capture all parts to each question. So don't think you have too much information. Go ahead and really, really go deep in these. If you find that you do not have an answer to a question, see, I thought of your questions. You can always come back to it later. There might be something that you want a question to answer later on that actually helps you identify what that one is. There's no right or wrong way in doing this in the order. Once you commit to a question, though, do not move on to the next question until you have fully explored the previous one. So if you start writing one, really dig deep because you're in that zone. You can always come back and add a few things, but really try to go as deep as you can. So after you have answered the questions, go back through again and see if there's another new set of ideas or thoughts are inspired. Keep looking for more ways until you're satisfied and you feel like you really have explored the depths. The more time and effort you put into this, the more real you are, the more honest, the more you're going to get out of it and the more genuine it's going to be. So don't judge any of your answers, okay? Don't find yourself thinking, saying, or writing any ideas, right, that you think are not okay or uncomfortable, they go against your current life. These may feel scary or unattainable. Now is not the time to evaluate. We're not evaluating. So do not hold back on opinions, ideas at this point, which can limit your ability to find your true passions. Focus on getting everything out and just being honest with yourself and open as you can, right? The most important goal, though, is for you to enjoy the act of answering them and really get digging deeper into yourself and remain as honest as you can. This is something that you are choosing to do, so why not make the most out of it? Enjoy the fact that you are getting to know yourself so much better and finally be able to move towards living that passion. So, all right, here we go. Here are the 20 questions. All right. Number one, I'm going to actually talk through, like, I'm going to give you the question, but I'm going to kind of really talk through what these mean. That way, kind of, you can really get that deep dive. So, number one, how do I define passion? The word passion. Before you start your path on discovering your passions, it's helpful to start by defining the word yourself. What is the word passionate about something? What does that mean to you? If you feel excited about something, how does that feel different from what you currently think? Does your passion have to be how you earn money? Does passion have to be about something and loving it all the time? The more you clarify what is passionate to you, right? What it means to you, the easier it will be for you to figure out where your answer is going to lie. Things that drive your greatness can also get on your nerve at the same time, right? And be super challenging. Now, passions are not perfect. Yeah, perfectionists out there, I got you. Passions are not perfect, nor are they easy to obtain. You can be passionate about something and not enjoy every aspect of it either. Create a realistic definition of the word and start your reflective process today. You can even go through like your 5 senses, like kind of go through and think of like what it would be. That's a great way if you get stuck. Okay, number 2. What are those things that you do easily or you feel like you have natural talents for? So exploring our natural talents and abilities is a way of exploring our deep passions. When you consider what comes easy to you, you may find natural gifts that can lead to helping explore your passions. It can be helpful to ask others what they think your gifts and talents are. I've done that before. It's a great way to do it. Because it might be different for you to see, but others are like, oh my gosh, you're so good at this. So ask them to be honest with you and be able to make sure you do trusted people, not some people are just going to like, tell you whatever because they think you want to hear it. And number 3, I love this one. This is my favorite one. What do I want my legacy to be after I'm gone? What do I want my legacy to be after I'm gone? Then in your life, when you look back and you at everything you've done, all that you've accomplished, what do you want people to remember most about you? What do you want people to say was your greatest achievement? What do you hope to take away from your choices? Thinking in a way that can help you clarify values and define what is most important to you. Do you want to be remembered as someone who helped other people, as someone who was a great parent, excellent teacher? Do you want to be remembered, with a fun attitude? What do you consider, it to be if you were to look back? What do you want your life to have meaning? What do you want people to say about you? I think when you consider it this way, it's easy to figure out what's important to you, which can lead you to identify passions and that will allow you to realize this goal. Number 4, in what ways are you currently limiting yourself? Ooh, yeah, I know this was a tough one. So if you've been considering your passions for some time, wondering what drives your life and what's stopping you from, getting there, how are you limiting your outlook? How are you preventing yourself from acting on your dreams? This is one of those questions that can be difficult to answer because it's hard to admit sometimes there's uncomfortable feelings about ourselves and hard to admit that maybe we've lived someone else's dream, not our own. So are you sabotaging your efforts? Are you not being honest with yourself about what you love and what you think is important? Are you allowing your fears to stand in the way? I get it. Hand raised on some of these. Working through it. Digging deep right into what's holding you back and often help you break through to discover where your passion lies. And so this is when, if you need it, brutally honest video should be popping up. This is when we need to get brutally honest with ourselves. Like the brutal honesty is really going to unlock things. And it wasn't until I started getting brutally honest with myself that I saw it hasn't been easy, but started seeing change in my life. And so there's power in that. All right. Think about a time in your life when you were really free. What was it like? So maybe when you were young, and maybe I hear all the time, when I was young, I felt very free, unencumbered to enjoy our lives, right? And live what we wanted. During these times, decisions are easier as we may feel the quiet difference, right? And, and maybe now, we are stressed, right? We don't feel free. We feel like we're a slave to our jobs. Think back to that time in your life when you felt absolutely free. What were you doing? What were your goals? What did you want most out of life? Dream back to that kid time. Like, what did you want to be when you grew up? You never know. Maybe that was your passion. But remember, you're young, you're free yourself. It's an opportunity to explore your mind before responsibilities, doubt, fear, and other limiting thoughts creep in. And it may point you in the direction of your passions that you're buried under all those negative feelings for so long. While you may not have the exact same desires, you might not be able to be Superman now. Halloween, I guess. But sorry to break it to you. But no, the exact same desires you did as a child. When you were young, allow yourself to remember what it felt like to be open can often help you think about what you want right now. So, Tony Robbins always says, like, get into that state, like, you guys different states and, like, actually, like, really feel it. And, like, so feel yourself being a child again. Like, what feeling free, what comes to mind? I think that's a powerful thing. Number 6, what do I want to learn about? We should be hungry for knowledge. So passion are things that you love, but also things that you're willing to learn more about, right? I'm recently learning to learn more about YouTube. I had no clue. Right? But you can learn about it. It excites you because you know it's going to get you to your goal. So you can explore something more in depth. Many times passions are born from an ongoing interest that becomes kind of consuming. So what are the top skills, areas of growth that most interest you in exploring? And what would you be willing to put time in to educate yourself, or even spend like that time after work researching, right? Digging deeper into any of these areas could actually lead to a passion that you may not have really discovered fully. So don't remember, you just putting on lists does not mean you're committing to it. So write down as many ideas as you have. No judgment here right now. Number 7, if you knew you could never fail, what would you choose to do? You're going to be telling. If you knew you could never fail, what would you choose to? I'd love to know, like, if you want to answer any of these in the comments, I'd love to know, like, what your thoughts are. So this is kind of a hypothetical scenario that can free you from the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from finding what is essential to you. If you could be guaranteed you would not fail, what would you do? What would be the first thing you would commit to accomplishing? And I would love it. Like, write down your first thought. Like, whatever comes to you, don't judge it. Write it down, because you're probably like, I know for me, it's so easy for me to, like, get that first thought and, like, pull it back in and start judging it right away. But we're not judging. Primary to think outside of the bounds can really be hard, but when you do, it's freeing and opens our mind to the possibilities that are blocking us with our anxieties and our limiting thoughts. Suspend those disbeliefs for a moment, and what alternative reality would be like if you were like just couldn't fail. Number 8, what activities make you lose track of time? So I love these flow states, right? When you are passionate about something, you often forget to attend to even your personal needs, out there in food, you lose track of time, and you find that you really don't care about what else is happening in the world. So, like, COVID, okay. No, that's affected us all. But, seriously, like, I've been very involved in my business, so I haven't watched the news as much. So I haven't had the same hype and stuff because I've been so engaged, right? So really, that does make a difference. As the world seems to be, going crazy, I'm really focused. And so it's helped me stay, no matter what, I have something I'm living for. Regardless of what happens out there, like, I know where I'm going. I think it's really powerful. What are some things you enjoy doing that make the time pass very quickly? And when was the last time you found yourself immersed in a regular activity and forgot the outside world? These activities can lead you to discover your passions and purpose in life. Number 9, if you never had to work another day in your life, what would you spend your time doing? Be doing the same thing. Well, it'd be nice to think of doing nothing. Let's face it, we all know that lying around watching TV all day is eventually going to become old and dull. Instead, consider the questions as you want to find the things that you really enjoy doing and ways you love and enjoy your time. They could still occupy your mind and help you stay cognitive and active the rest of your life. So taking money out of the picture, though this can be a helpful tool to allow more ideas to flow and your limiting thoughts to take the back seat. So while your passions do not have to be support, yourself financially, you do need to still make enough money, right, to indulge in your desires. If money were no object, though, how would you change the attitude about what is exciting interest to you? So although we need money, sometimes that's just an avenue for us to do the things we absolutely love, right? So, I've had other jobs when I was being as a school teacher, like to fund my classroom, right? I love teaching, but wasn't making enough, so I had some other jobs to help supplement and pay for it. So, there's sometimes other avenues to do what we love. 10, if you have a magic wand, we all love magic wands, that was waved and all your current problems were solved. Oh gosh, do we wish we had one of those. What would you want to do? Tongue twister. Another limiting factor that keeps us focusing on passions, the problems that plague us everyday's lives, these obstacles that overcome, survive for our families, money, stimulus checks, presidency, all this kind of stuff, COVID. And because we have issues, it may seem like we don't deserve to have our passions or indulge in them. That's not true. Allow yourself for a moment to consider a clean slate. No problems. What would you choose to do? In what direction would you want your life to go? By letting go of those fears and worries and challenges we currently have, we may see a different aspect of our life that we desire. 11. Let's face it, we're all jealous at some point. Of whom or what are you most jealous? While we hate to admit our jealous thoughts, looking carefully at what we envy can be highly informative about what we're currently missing in life. If you feel jealous about someone who has everything you want, when you think of what are you envious of them, it's helpful to look at the reasons for those feelings. What is it about that person's work, life, family accomplishments that is making you currently envy? What is it that you really want to have? Are there other people in your life who have something similar from whom you have similar feelings? If you know what you love and are passionate about, can be as simple as seeing what you admire and envy in other people. 12. Who are your role models? In the same way, looking at who makes you jealous can be helpful, as so look at those who you admire most. Admiration is a sign of respect to someone that is inspired by their characteristics or accomplishments, right? So looking at the common threads among your top role models can help you discern what type of person you want to be and the pursuits that can help you obtain those traits. So think about your role models. It gives you insight into your values, which are strongly linked to your deepest passions and your desires. Number 13. What is something you used to be passionate about? We all have these. Many times we give up what we love over time because they no longer fit into our current reality. But that does not mean that we have to stop loving them or feeling passionate about them. Are there things that you, from your past, that you used to love but let go of for various reasons? Do you previously love music, sports, dancing? Were you an avid theater fan, collector, antiques, whatever it was? Passions do not have to be your career, even something that you do every day. But it is important to honor the things that you still love, even when you can't do them every day. So maybe you have to have a certain job because you need to make certain money. You can't do anything else, but you can still have a passion on the side, right? 14. What is a topic that you love to talk about for hours? We all have those, right? You're on the phone with a friend, like they talk nonstop about one particular topic, right? These passions. If you're looking for something that excites you, look at your last 3 most exciting and stimulating conversations. A lot of times we go through text, right? We all text now. We got the last 3. Like, or did you have a common theme today? You're like, do you always talk about something? Is there a common thread among these? Is there a topic that you never get tired of discussing? Like, you talk for hours. Like, it's so exciting when that comes up. Particular style of debate, conversing, does it excite you? Passions can be things you love to share with people. What you want other people to learn more about. Consider the topics that most interest you. Make a list and see if there are common themes or ideas that you're passionate about. Number 15. Why is it important? Why it is important for you to live out this passion. So finding the what is important, but finding the why is what's going to keep you going. When it comes to finding your passion, ask yourself, why is it important to me to have a passion? Then I want you to ask yourself, why? 7 more times. So it's called the 7 layers deep. It's a Dean Garcia thing that I learned. So why is doing something that's passionate important to me? Because I want to have a fulfilled life. Why is having a fulfilled life important to me? Right? And then you're going to fill in the answer. Because sometimes around 4, you move from your head to your heart. And you're going to get into that deep heart. And normally it's something deep. It's something really, really deep. Something that you won't want to let go of. So doing this 7-layer deep activity is key. You might say, that you want to find your passion by helping others. When you drill it down, you may discover the real reason you need is to feel complete in your life. Or you want to eliminate other suffering. The closer you get, you might find your why is to realize, the more you will realize just what it is you want to really do. Sometimes it comes back to, I find a lot of times it goes back to childhood, something that was lacking, something we felt like we needed to change in our own lives. And so that's a powerful thing, because then you're not going to give up on it, right? 15. If your job gave you time off to volunteer, please, what would you do with your time? So finding your passions can start by seeing how you spend your free time. But questions like these can help explore a different angle of unexpected free time. You would rather be devoting daily to your commitments, right? And so if you woke up tomorrow, you did not have to go to work, but you must spend the day volunteering. What would you do? Volunteering is a way to share something you love with others and think about how you can give back, teach, help, and explore some other passions, because giving is so essential in life. 17. What is fulfilling and vital in your current life? So finding your passion may not be as hard as you think. Some things in your life are already working pretty darn well. So what are those things? How can you explore these things deeper and in new ways? so you can use them, for the better of others. By examining what is positive and working in your life, you uncover your strengths and what you want for your life, and you realize your priorities as well. So 18, what isn't fulfilling in your life and what's draining you? The things in your life that bring you stress, waste time, are drained for your excitement, energy, can also give you direction. And so these are aspects of your life that you need to change. And knowing that is helpful to figuring out what you want to do, right? When you feel unhappy, it provides you with an opportunity to reflect on what needs to change and where your problems might lie. And finding what is draining you of your happiness can help you eliminate things from the list of potentials that maybe bring similar challenges as well. 19, consider your obligations. Then consider which of these are most vital to you. So take a moment to write down the things that you do every single day in life. What are your to-dos right now? What are the things you must accomplish before next week? Then ask yourself, out of all the things, are they any crucial? Toni Morris once asked, what must I do or I shall die? What are those things? Narrowing your list down to the most vital and soul-searching answers can give you insight into what your passions are. All right, here we go, ready? 20. If you had to pursue your passion, what is the worst thing that could happen? While it may seem a bit dramatic, it's a beneficial exercise, trust me, for those who are allowing fear and anxiety to keep them from living their dreams. If you were to go all out after what you wanted, what's the worst thing that could happen? And do you think you could live with that with outcome or obstacle if it happened? Sometimes confronting our fears, we always see that it's not as impossible as we once thought it was, right? And so there are your 20 power tips. Now I want you to go back and you're going to re-go through those, answer them again, and then you're going to look for your common themes and see what stands out to you. Is there a common theme? Maybe you're like, man, I didn't realize I really enjoy working with youth. I really enjoy, maybe I could volunteer, become a big brother or something. Really discover, what is it? Oh man, I'm really good with tech. I enjoy helping people who struggle with tech. And maybe go volunteer at, an older home and help them, I don't know if they have tech there, I'm thinking they do, help them out with the technology and stuff. So think about what things you can do, whether it be a career move or whether it be just a hobby or something in your life. But remember, when we're passionate, what happens? We're going to live a higher level, and we're going to be able to look back on our lives and say, yes, I lived a worthy life. I left a legacy. I made a difference. I did something significant beyond myself that wasn't about money. It wasn't about what I had. It wasn't about me. It was about other people and serving. So hope that helped. Post any of the answers you want to in the comments, and I will respond, as well. Post any questions you have about this or anything about living the fit life, whether it be nutrition, personal training, group fitness, or life or transformation coaching, or how we do with our mind, our emotions, or even our micro habits, because it's really the micro habits, the things we do every day. You have to do something every day to make your passion happen. If you really want to make it happen, what are you doing every day? And that's key for whether we're looking at how we learn to handle our emotions better, so we don't go and either binge eat or emotionally eat, or we don't handle those in the wrong way and blow up, or whether it be our mind, how we train our mind to get that crappy thinking out of it, right? I feel like I'm always working on that one. And so, a lot of times we have to do certain things, or if it's within our nutrition and what little things we do every day to really have good health and nutrition, or how we're going to add more movement into our lives. What's that going to look like? It's not all about exercising hours at the gym, but how can we just become more people with movement? How can we train our kids to be that? So make sure you subscribe, follow for someone that could use this video. And until next time, try, be brave, be kind, live authentically, and always shine. And remember, you're just one habit away. Maybe it's finding your passion today. We'd love to hear what you find out. All right, until next time, tribe.